My name's Ian Clement, and this is another video in the SysQue 101 series based on SysQue version 9.1, and we're going to be looking at the hangers. I'm going to start by looking at the manual placement of hangers. So I've got a couple of piping examples here. It's exactly the same scenario for duct and conduit and cable tray. Just pick pipe here as an example I'm trying to use. So basically, we're going to be manually placing hangers initially. But before I do that, just like to cover a couple of the options you've got. So on the SysQue supports, which is accessed from here, I've already got mine started, brings up this menu. And these are just our example specifications. I'm not going to use those initially. What I do want to look at though is just placement options. You've got basically four options here. The default essentially is saying do not try and attach the hanger rods to any structure. So this will be used typically maybe just to get like hanger spacing. SysQue itself is not going to try and connect to any structure with this method turned on there. More likely, based on the model you're actually working with there, you may start off with this apply to selected link models. Now, again, in my scenario, I don't have a link model, but if I had, for example, the architectural or structural model linked into this model, they would show up here. I can select which model or models I want SysQue to actually look to detect structure from. With this selected, when I place a hanger, SysQue is going to try and connect, it'll extend the rod or rods to actually find structure to connect to. Now, structure in SysQue is defined as either slab or structural steel. Another option I actually got is apply to selected levels. So my example just has two levels in here. So all this pipe was drawn on level 1. So maybe I actually want to go up to level 2 and assume a 6-inch deck thickness. So that will basically extend these rods up to within 6 inches of the level 2 off there. So another option I actually got there. And then the final option is detect structure in this model. So as an example of that, I've actually drawn a slab on my level 2. I'm going to actually leave this as my selected option for now, so you can see how all that works. So I'm going to save that as my preferred option. Now, when I'm placing hangers, it does look under here, but regardless of I'm placing these manually or in an automated fashion, that is determining how it actually looks for structure. So let's go back and say we're going to look here initially at just placing manual hangers. This is a type of scenario where I only need 2 or 3 hangers, maybe a hanger around a piece of equipment. Maybe I've got a complex beam system, so I actually do need to physically make sure that each of the hangers ends up on a beam. Another reason to actually manually place them rather than automated place them. But basically, all hangers are going to live on whatever system you're on the building layout tab. Now I've got no hangers on here currently, so I'm going to go down to add fittings. And when that comes up, it's going to take it to our website. Now if I go to the Imperial and then hangers, these are all of our hanger manufacturers. So you see we've got a lot of them. You can pick and choose which ones you need. I'm going to just keep these relatively simple. I'm going to use a Cooper P line, carbon steel supports, carbon steel, and supports. So while that loads it up, these are the hangers I have available for me in this particular category. And again, I'm just going to keep this easy. I'm just going to drag one of these in. So that's pulling it from the website, loading onto my computer. And once that comes in, it's now showing me this hanger, the 3100, is available from Cooper B line, 1/2 inch up to 36 inch. Now, if I don't want it to use a particular size, I can just uncheck the box, and it basically says that size doesn't exist, therefore SysQue can't use it. In my case, I'm going to leave all of these. I am going to designate it as a hanger. So SysQue treats this as an actual hanger itself. I've got the options down here of adding my alternate names. If you look in some previous videos, this is rather than using the family name, maybe on a schedule, I may want to have my own abbreviations or naming conventions down here. The other option you have here is what's called support discipline. This is optional, as are the two descriptions. The support discipline actually will group these particular hangers into what's referred to as a layer on the automated layout. For example, the Trimble RTS robots, you would actually group them together. It is optional. I'm just going to leave this blank for now. So I've just basically got a hanger in there, hit the OK. I can add as many as I want. One will work for me. Close out of here. So if I want to place that hanger, left click on the hanger, find a chunk of pipe, and click to place it. So basically that's placed that hanger on there. And if you actually look, you can see that it looks relatively short. We'll look at this view in a bit better. I'm now actually going to move somewhere where I'm outside of the slab, which should be about there. And if you actually look at that one, so you can see there, it's obviously given a longer hanger rod. I'll show you how it determines what that length is going to be. The other option we have, this is some insulated pipe. So if I click on the insulated pipe, again, it's going to size the hanger based on the installation size itself. So at the point you place the hanger, that's how it determines the size. That should take it through that way. That's your basic manual placement of hangers. Now, what I also want to do here, we've actually got a rack system. I've got a rack system down here. Let me show you the best way of dealing with a rack system. So in this case, I want like a uni-strut. So I'm going to go back to my add fittings, Imperial, hangers. And this time I'm going to use a uni-strut, way down the bottom here. And you'll notice we've actually got uni-strut for cable tray, conduit, duct, etc., etc. Make sure you pick the correct discipline. This is actually going to determine the ODs. Obviously, the OD of a 1-inch conduit is actually different from the OD of a piece of carbon steel pipe, etc. So make sure you get the right one, or you'll discover your component, duct, conduit, pipe, etc., doesn't quite sit on there. And again, you'll notice we've got an assortment of types of hangers, so back-to-back 7/8 or double back-to-back 7/8. We've got double inch and 5/8, single inch and 5/8, the HG, PG systems, and then also there's assorted seismic ones on there. Again, they all work the same. I just want to pick the first one, keep these simple. So again, it's loading it from the website now. First time it's being used. Only thing I need to make sure of is check the hanger box. Now, Unistrut, you do need to provide a manufacturer. If you just hit the OK now, you will get an error saying, please give me a manufacturer. I'm actually going to put in here, just a sort of letter. It's got to have something in there. The reason it isn't filled out initially, where all the other hangers are, is because only the bottom section is Unistrut, and obviously the rods are from a different manufacturer. So trying to keep our data very clean and pure. We can't designate as Unistrut. You can, but we don't want to designate as Unistrut because it actually consists of non-Unistrut components. Grab that, put it up here, close out of this. So in this case, I actually want to place a hanger across all these three pipes. The methodology on here, select all three pipes, right-click on the hanger itself, and take off as a multi-rack. So again, now I can pick any of these pipes. It doesn't matter which one of these I actually pick. So let me just pick the middle one for now. And that'll basically place the hanger. And you can see, places it, then organize it and stretches it to make it fit. I could pick this pipe. And essentially the same thing happens. Places the hangers on there. And repeat as necessary. Right-click cancel to actually finish the operation. And again, because there is no structure here, these are basically just extended as they are. So that's basically the manual placement of hangers. In the next video, we'll actually look at using one of the hanger specifications to automate the process on that.